This is River of Living Water, Revival School. I greet you this day in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. I want to share with us a special word that is of encouragement to everybody. That it is just simply says that God does not give up. God does not give up, even when his projects are messed up and derailed by the enemy. God does not give up. Immediately he proclaimed, that Adam and Eve fell into Lucifer's manipulation. God immediately decreed and he prophesied or stated a recourse, a solution to break the authority of this defilement. Immediately that Adam and Eve fell and his work was destroyed, God knew the implication of all this spiritually, and he immediately proclaimed and decreed, he prophesied the course of action to come and stop this defilement. In Genesis 3 verse 15 he said, "And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between you, your offspring and hers." This was a major project for God, a project that gave him great joy. He delighted in it. It pleased him greatly. We saw that in many places he expressed joy and satisfaction of its excellence, and he said, "It is good, it will work, it satisfies my plan." The word says that he delights in the works of people. This project would give God, this project that he undertook would give him great delight, to give him great pleasure, you give him incredible joy, because it was a love project. It was his love initiative. He was extending part of himself. He was extending part of himself to somebody else. He was sharing his own life with somebody else. And these people were also to continue sharing that life. And because it was his love initiative, it gave him incredible pleasure. It gave him incredible joy. It became the center. It's the center of his attention. He would derive great satisfaction in his investment in the terrestrial earth. Even in the foreign state, God still derives joy from his work. God does not give up, even when his plans and projects are derailed. He does not give up, because in him there is no such vocabulary as giving up. In Joshua 1, verse 1 to 9, let us read what God told Joshua. In Joshua 1, verse 9, and I'm reading from NIV. After the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord said to Joshua, son of Nun, Moses 8, Moses, my servant, is dead. Now then, you and all the people get ready to cross the Jordan River into the land I'm about to give to the Israelites. I will give you every place where you set your foot, as I promised Moses. Your territory will extend from the desert of Lebanon and from the great river, the Euphrates, or the Hittite country, to the great sea on the west. No one will be able to stand against you all the days of your life. As I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Be strong and courageous, because you lead these people to inherit the land I swore to their forefathers to give them. Be strong and very courageous. Be careful to obey all the law my servant Moses gave you. Do not turn from it to the right or to the left, that you may be successful wherever you go. Do not let this book of the law depart from your mouth. Meditate on it day and night, so that you may be careful to do everything written in it. Then you will be prosperous and successful. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be terrified. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. So in this section, we see that God greatly encouraged Joshua. Joshua had been given a mandate, a mission, a job, a great responsibility to take the whole of Israel and invade and take over Canaan. And so what faced Joshua was an incredible mission to invade and take over Canaan. And Joshua, like all of us, may have wondered if it was possible, if he was capable, if he had the ability, if he was sufficient, and he would be filled with doubt and fear and terror. And he would have decided, God, I cannot go. Choose somebody else. And God was aware of these negative forces that operate from the inside and derail a person's project. And God encouraged Joshua greatly. God encouraged Joshua greatly by speaking to him the words, no one will be able to stand against you all the days of your life. And as I was with Moses, so will I be with you. I will never leave you, nor forsake you, or forsake you. Be strong and courageous. Be strong and very courageous. Be careful to obey the law of righteousness. Do not turn from it. Be strong and courageous. Do not be terrified. Do not be discouraged. And God was telling Joshua that he must make a decision, and he must engage his willpower and decision to say, I will not be discouraged. I will not be terrified. Even when a situation arises to terrify me, I will not be terrified. I will not be terrified. I will stand in courage and decisively, because I know that my God, I'm not alone. My God is with me. He is in this engagement. I am not in this mission and purpose on my own. We also know that even Jesus, he was not discouraged or pushed back by the force of the religious leaders. He trudged on because he knew that he was not alone in it. God knows how our supernatural nature, our center of power and resource center, how it works. He knows these negative forces that operate from inside will hinder us from achieving and making progress. Remember that Jesus was never hindered by these forces. He forcefully, with the internal power, force, and obedience, he forced this project of God through. And even today in our daily lives, as we have looked at God's creation of systems of the earth and humanity, we realize that every person is an individual before God. Every person is identified by his name, by his personality, by right as an individual. And God says that he knows the number of strands of hair in one's head. And he knows where we are. He knows where we are located. He knows what is going through in our minds. He knows our thoughts. He knows where we came from. And he knows our future. Every person is acknowledged by God by right. And God sees each one of us as an individual. And everybody has purpose inscribed within them. Inside of us, purpose is inscribed within us. Purpose of each person is inscribed within us. So Jesus was, the purpose of Jesus' life was inscribed within him. He knew about it. He knew what he was supposed to do. And when the time came, he just started rolling out. He did not go to seek permission from the religious leaders. He did not go to beg people to support him. He just went forth and started rolling his project. Everyone has a mandate, a purpose that God has written inside of them. People may say, I would want to do this and that. I love to do this and that. I get a lot of satisfaction doing this and that. And this is the arrow that shows a person one's way towards purpose. There may be hindrances, discouragement, fear, feeling of inadequacy, feeling alone, like one would need someone. But Jesus gives us, is our role model. In as far as executing our projects, as far as executing our mandate, as far as rolling out our purpose in our own lives and taking responsibility in the course of, in the systems of humanity. We do not have to go and ask people, can we do it? Is it relevant? Follow the example of Jesus Christ. He knew his mission and purpose. Jesus had his mission and purpose written in him like a software. And when the time came, he just embarked on it. He did not listen to other people's opinions and discouragements. He resisted those who fought him. He did not give up. This negative action of giving up and throwing away our project is not in God's vocabulary. And in fact, people are not created to fail or to be subject to the force of discouragement. They were created for victory, for creativity, innovation, growth, productivity, and display the power and the splendor of their Father, from whom they originate. Because it is within them is the center of resource. And as we continue to engage and interact with our environment, we encounter many stimuli. We encounter very many stimuli that when we engage with these stimuli, there is something of interest which is activated within our being. That software that defines purpose is activated within our being. And from there, people are able to identify another course of life path. You find that most times when people retire from jobs, people retire at the age of 60 years. And at times people may find they don't know anything else to do. They don't know what else they can do. But in fact, all these years of working, all these years of engagement, interacting with their environment, in their service, in their responsibility, they interacted with a lot of stimuli. And there are some specific stimuli where they have perfected their act. And in fact, that is the place to start. Nobody should go into a state of depression and hopelessness because they have lost a job, because they have resigned, because they have retired, because there is no job anymore for them. People must continue to be active. People must continue rolling out the resources that are within them, because that is something that gives God great pleasure. It gives God great delight. And so in this word, the word today is to remember that God does not give up. Jesus does not give up. These great people in heaven, they don't give up. Even if they are faced with so much challenge, they are faced with derailments. You will realize that if you are an entrepreneur and you have started a project and you find a place where it seems like you have failed and you did not get the resource that you wanted, you should never be discouraged by failure. You must know that situation has arisen because there is a fact that was not known. There is a knowledge that has not been implemented, which needs to be researched on and to be established so that it can be inculcated, it can be used to push through the frontier. And this word encourages all of us. As God spoke to Joshua, he speaks to us every day. And he tells us that he is with us all the way. And he is telling us that we should not allow discouragement. He should not allow terror. We should not allow fear to lock us up, because all these forces, all these negative forces have the power and the capacity to lock our internal center of resource and derail somebody completely, and you feel that I can't make it. It is not possible. It is too difficult. It cannot be achieved. But those are all lies, because every person is created in the image of God, and within their internal being reside the center of potential, and all it needs is to be activated. It needs to be activated so that it starts roaring out forcefully in power and resourcefulness. God bless you greatly. And may He be with you continuously, every day, every point of your life, every point of your project, every point of your undertaking. May you resist discouragement. May you have the power and the courage to resist discouragement. And may you have the energy to seek and search that which you need to break your frontiers. May God greatly delight in your work. In Jesus' name, amen.